From the earliest moments of human consciousness, we are drawn to connection, yet most of the connections we encounter are fleeting and superficial, lingering at the surface of our being. Attention is seductive. It illuminates the parts of us that are easily seen and understood. Yet true love is never satisfied with what is immediately visible. For the soul, profound and often hidden essence within each human being, calls for recognition that goes beyond what the eye can observe and the mind can measure. The soul, in its quiet persistence, whispers truths about who we are, truths that are not always comfortable to face, truths that are often disguised in contradictions and dreams. And it is precisely here, in the dark and mysterious corridors of the inner self, that genuine love finds its purpose and its proof. To love a soul is to engage in a dance with the unknown, to approach not only the light that others see, but the shadows that others fear, to witness the patterns of thought, emotion, and desire that create the intricate mosaic of a person's inner life, and to respond not with judgment, but with an unwavering presence that honors the depth of that being. It is easy to be captivated by laughter, by charm, by beauty, by gestures of attention that are fleeting and performative, but these are mere echoes of what lies beneath. They are the reflections of a soul's surface, ripples that can deceive and distract, whereas love that seeks the soul recognizes that beneath every smile, every word, every gesture, there is a landscape vast and complex, full of memories, fears, aspirations, and a yearning for meaning. And it is this landscape that true love inhabits, not merely the expressions that fade in and out of attention. The person who loves your soul is attuned to rhythms that are subtle, often imperceptible, to those who value only the tangible, the observable, the socially acknowledged, for they have learned to listen to the silent language of the heart, to perceive the spaces between words, the pauses in conversation, the moments of stillness where the deepest truths reveal themselves, and in doing so they recognize the wholeness of a person, not merely the fragments that are displayed to the world. It is an intimate journey that requires patience, courage, and humility, for the soul is not a possession nor a spectacle. It is a living, breathing reality, shifting and evolving, sometimes hidden beneath layers of defense and adaptation that have been built over a lifetime, and to navigate this inner terrain with love is to commit to a process of exploration that is both tender and relentless, guided not by desire for gratification, but by reverence for the totality of the other being, accepting their flaws and contradictions, their triumphs and vulnerabilities, their capacity for darkness as well as light. In the presence of such love, one discovers a mirror that does not distort, but clarifies, reflection that affirms existence without conditions, and in the recognition of the soul, one finds a freedom that is unparalleled, for attention can be withdrawn, admiration can fade, popularity can wane. A love rooted in the essence of a person endures, not because it is demanded or enforced, but because it is earned in the quiet, uncelebrated acts of seeing, listening, and understanding. This love is evident not in grand declarations or fleeting romantic gestures, though these may accompany it, but in the consistent, often imperceptible ways in which someone honors your inner life. Noticing your moods without intruding, holding space for your thoughts without judgment, offering comfort without obligation, and challenging you not to conform, but to grow, to confront shadows, and to embrace the wholeness of who you are. It is a love that resonates with the archetypal structures within us, recognizing that every individual carries within them a journey toward wholeness, a narrative of struggle and discovery, and that the act of loving the soul is itself a transformative process that elevates both the lover and the beloved, creating a space where authenticity is not only welcomed, but nurtured, where masks can fall away, and where the intricate patterns of thought, emotion, and memory are approached with reverence, curiosity, and a steadfast commitment to presence. In observing the subtle cues that reveal hidden fears, unspoken hopes, recurring dreams, and recurring patterns of behavior, the soul lover discerns the invisible threads that connect experiences, understanding that love is not a static emotion but a dynamic interaction with the unfolding of a life, and that to truly love someone is to engage with the entirety of their being, not merely the fragments that are convenient or socially acceptable to engage with. This requires a deep attunement to both the conscious and unconscious aspects of human existence, an ability to navigate complexity without seeking to simplify or control it, and a willingness to encounter discomfort and ambiguity without retreating into superficial judgments or distractions. Proof of such love emerges in subtle, repeated gestures that demonstrate attention to what is truly essential, the recurring themes in dreams and narratives, the silent struggles and hidden joys that define a person beyond appearances, and it manifests in a ancient and consistent engagement with the soul's unfolding, recognizing that transformation and understanding are ongoing processes that cannot be rushed or forced. The one who loves your soul is not satisfied with casual acquaintance or surface admiration, for they understand that the self is a complex interplay of forces, desires, fears, and memories, and that true intimacy arises only when these dimensions are acknowledged, respected, and embraced. This love is expressed in the ability to hold contradictions without judgment, witness moments of despair as well as moments of joy with equal respect, and to provide a steady presence that does not seek to erase pain but to integrate it into the broader tapestry of human experience, recognizing that suffering and struggle are integral to growth and self-realization. Such a person does not attempt to control your attention, to manipulate your emotions, or to shape your identity according to their preferences, for they understand that the soul cannot be coerced or owned. It can only be seen, acknowledged, and loved for what it is, and in this recognition, the beloved experiences a freedom that is both profound and rare, a sense of being truly known and accepted, not as an image to be admired, but as a living, evolving presence with depths yet to be discovered. Attention is fleeting. It is often a reflection of convenience, desire, or social expectation, and it can shift as easily as the wind, yet soul-deep love persists, not because it is demanded or reinforced by external validation, but because it is attuned to the intrinsic value of the being it encounters. It is patient, enduring, and transformative, operating quietly in the background, creating conditions for growth, healing, and integration, and providing the foundation for a relationship that transcends superficiality, external distractions, and transient emotions. When a person loves your soul, engage with your narrative not as a story to be interpreted or judged, but as a living map of experience, one that reveals not only who you are, but the potentials of who you can become. And in this engagement, both individuals are invited into a deeper understanding of themselves and each other, creating a relational dynamic that fosters authenticity, mutual respect, and profound connection. This love is evident in the capacity to remain present during moments of discomfort, to listen without immediately offering solutions, to observe patterns without criticism, and to respond with empathy that honors the integrity of the other person's experience. And through these repeated acts, trust is established, intimacy is deepened, and the proof of love becomes visible in the lived experience of being fully acknowledged, fully seen, and fully accepted as is. The soul, with all its complexities and contradictions, requires this depth of engagement, for it is not satisfied with superficiality, nor can it be fully reached through attention alone, which often addresses only what is visible, entertaining, or socially desirable. Rather, the soul calls for recognition of its entirety, for patience in understanding its hidden dimensions, and for a devotion that is both steady and discerning. Love that seeks the soul operates in alignment with the rhythms of inner life, perceiving not only what is expressed, but what is implied, not only what is celebrated, but what is concealed, and in doing so, it participates in a relational alchemy that transforms ordinary attention into a deep, abiding care that nurtures growth, healing, and wholeness. The one who loves your soul is both observer and participant, witness and companion, guiding and allowing, challenging and supporting. For they recognize that to engage with another's essence is to encounter both beauty and shadow, joy and sorrow, clarity and ambiguity, and that the depth of this encounter requires courage, compassion, and a relentless commitment to presence and understanding. They do not measure love by displays of affection or attention, but by the consistency of their engagement, the sincerity of their empathy, and the willingness to explore the inner landscapes that others may avoid or overlook. And through this exploration, they demonstrate that love is not a superficial reaction to external stimuli, but a profound communion with the living essence of another being. It is in the observation of recurring patterns, in the acknowledgement of unspoken fears, in the encouragement of dreams that have been long suppressed, in the patience with moments of regression or resistance, and in the unwavering presence during times of crisis and celebration alike, that the proof of soul-deep love becomes evident, not as a declaration, but as a lived reality that shapes and transforms both individuals in subtle, enduring, and often invisible ways. In recognizing the soul, one is invited to confront both beauty and shadow, to honor the totality of being, to participate in a relational dynamic that values depth over appearance, process over performance, and authenticity over convenience. And in this recognition, the beloved experiences not only being loved, but being understood in a way that transcends ordinary attention, creating a bond that is resilient, transformative, and profoundly nourishing, a love that persists not because it is demanded or convenient, but because it is aligned with the essential nature of human existence, which seeks recognition, wholeness, and integration at the deepest levels, and through the consistent acts of seeing, listening, and honoring the soul, the proof of this love becomes not only visible, but palpable, lived experience that confirms the enduring and transformative power of a connection rooted in the essence of who we are.